That's it. So for you little ones, a resolution is kind of like a plan you would make, maybe to do something better. That's usually what we're talking about when we say a New Year's resolution. So some resolutions that are popular are, I'm going to lose weight this year, or maybe I'm going to attend church every Sunday, never going to be late, or maybe for a kid it would be, I'm going to make all A's, or I'm always going to return my library book. So those are some good New Year's resolutions. How many of you children made a New Year's resolution? Anybody? Oh, so more children than adults made New Year's resolutions. All right. So here's a question for everybody. On this January 3rd, how many of you have broken your New Year's resolution? Nobody yet? Oh, okay. So a few years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago maybe, I heard on the radio about, instead of making a New Year's resolution, to come up with a word that would represent the upcoming year. So I started doing that about 6 or 7 years ago. I come up with a word instead of saying, I'm going to lose weight this year, because that's always a failure. So I come up with words, I've used words like hope or better. And that's actually a theme now, like picking a word for your new year is kind of a lot more popular than it was 6 or 7 years ago. But on New Year's Eve, as I sat in my house watching TV by myself, the clock had changed, I could hear the booms of the neighbor's fireworks. I was kind of disappointed in myself, because I didn't have a resolution or a word. I didn't put much thought into it, not much motivation after last year. So I turned the lights off, I go to bed, and I laid my head down, and then I realized I don't have a children's sermon either. I'm not going places this year. So I turned the light back on, and I thought, well, let me just open the Bible. At least I can read one more time what the gospel for the week is. So I turned to John, Gospel of John, chapter 1, and this is what it said. And God laughed. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And I chuckled in my dark bedroom because there was my word, the word I was looking for, and there was my children's sermon, all in the first sentence of the gospel. So I hope that this new year, adults and children, that when you can't think of what your word is, or you get to December and you don't even remember what word you chose, or you've long since broken your resolution, that the word is all you needed. We should all have our Bibles, right? And even if it's not the word you started with, maybe you can find a different word or a different scripture to help you get through the rest of the year. Let's bow our heads. Dear God, you have given us everything we need to succeed and pointed us straight towards you. Please walk with us as we continue that way, and remind us that daily devotions are much more important than yearly resolutions.